and to work together, okay? And the Jeffrey Epstein files reveals this, how corrupt academia and science are. It's all part of this huge transnational network. Right? There's grand alliance between science, crime, and intelligence in order to extract as much value from the world as possible, okay? These are parasites. And you're like, okay, how about Jared Kushner? Well, Jared Kushner's doing the same thing, guys, okay? This is Jared Kushner, right? Who's this guy? Vladimir Putin. What are they doing? They're discussing peace in Ukraine. Because what Jared Kushner is saying to Putin is, listen, I can negotiate, okay, I'm speculating, okay, I don't know, okay, but I imagine he's a real estate developer, so he's saying to Putin, hey, after this peace treaty happens between Ukraine and Russia, Ukraine will need to be redeveloped. So you should give opportunities to, okay? Because that's Russia. Then you go to Iran. This is Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff, and the Omani foreign minister. And before the attack against Iran happened, there were these peace negotiations between the Iranians and Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, who represent the Americans. So this guy, Steve Witkoff, during the negotiations, went on TV and said that, oh, the Iranians are trying to they're trying to enrich weapons-grade uranium as soon as possible, okay? So what Steve Witkoff is doing is he's sabotaging the peace negotiations. These guys are negotiating with the Iranians not to create a peace treaty, but to create a justification for war. All right? Oh, and also, this is Jared Kushner. Sorry. Oh, crap. All right. This is Jared Kushner. This is Steve Witkoff, and this is Benjamin Netanyahu. What are they doing? They're discussing peace in Gaza. Why? Because after peace happens in Gaza, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are going to lead a real estate team to develop Gaza into these luxury villas, guys. Okay? So this is how the world works. All right? But again, there's a problem with the system. All right? So, okay, well, this is the way the world works. Now, the question then is, okay, if this is the way the world works, and Jeffrey Epstein, Jared Kushner, and others are the real power in the world, and they represent the elite, how do they know this? Why is the Epstein files out in the government website, right? Why is it that you can go in the Department of Justice and look at all these things? Well, because there's a problem with this system. And it's this. This system is a parasite, right? So they are extracting value from the nation state. So other elites are asking themselves, why can't they be the parasites, but not us, right? So what's happening is a civil war between the elite, these people, and the counter-elite. People who want to take the position and become the parasites. Okay? And that's why we're seeing this conflict right now emerge in America. All right? Any questions, guys?
A quick. Great lecture, actually perfect timing.
All right, let's switch because I didn't know this asshole was gonna end his stream like that. So fuck him. I'm gonna switch this.
Blow your mind in terms of the design of that app. But what you might not know is you can actually use Claude Code as a general agent. And Anthropic released something really interesting a few weeks ago. They released what is called Claude Skills, which is just a special type of markdown file which allows you to surround Claude Code with relevant skills. So if you wished that you had an AI agent that had relevant skills, I believe that this is probably the most important thing that you could be studying right now. And so in this video, we're going to talk about how to set up Claude Skills. We're also going to talk about how to use Claude Code as a general agent. And we're going to talk about how you need to set up your skill.md file and what folders. And then I'm going to show you how to just use AI to create these skills. Let's talk about building a general agent with relevant skills for your business, whether you're a content creator, business owner, aspiring entrepreneur. We're going to build an agent with relevant skills to you. And we're going to use that agent. Let's dive in. Okay, so we're going to start off by talking about what is a coding agent. You may have heard of Lovable, and this video is not about Lovable. We're not even going to use Lovable. I just wanted to make a point real quick. So many people are talking about vibe coding. You can use tools like Lovable, Replit, Vibe Code. These are coding agents that you can use to build apps. And whenever I go to Lovable and type in make a landing page about pizza, right now what it's doing is it's spinning up a sandbox, which is basically a virtual computer, and it's going to run an AI agent or an AI coding agent on the side. And now it's going to generate a bunch of files within a directory or code base, and those files are going to make an app. And so this is an AI coding agent at work building an app. Okay, so it's done. The Lovable coding agent took my prompt, make a landing page about pizza. It generated all of the files. This coding agent decided what files it needed to generate. It generated them, and then it probably reviewed those files, and then it ran the program in a virtual computer somewhere so I can see it on my browser, because this is within a web browser. And so this is an example of an agent made specifically for creating simple applications, a very narrow agent experience where it's made specifically for creating certain types of apps with certain stacks. And we could do this same thing on our computer, right? We could do the same thing on our computer. If we were to go to Finder, we can just go straight into our downloads, right? We can go straight into our downloads, and we could go new folder. We can go like this. We can say using Claude Code, right? So we don't even need any IDE or something like Cursor or Lovable. I can open a terminal window. I can open a new terminal at this folder, and we can just run Claude. So now we're running Claude Code in this empty folder called using Claude Code, which is an empty folder. And I can just say, please build a beautiful, amazing landing page for my pizza shop, Riley's Pizza Shop. Make it in the style of neo-brutalism mixed with a friendly pizza energy. So just like Lovable, we can run this. And Claude Code in this empty folder is going to create the application right here. Okay, check this out. It just generated an index.html file. And there we go. It created a file the same way that Lovable is creating all the different files and putting them in a folder in some virtual machine. It's just a virtual computer. We're doing this on our computer. It's doing the same exact thing Lovable is doing. And the point I want to make here, you can just use these coding models on your computer. And coding files, right? This is an HTML file, and this is a CSS file. This is not the only type of file you can create with Claude Code. You can create any type of file. So it is done. And if we just copy this link right here and we paste in localhost 8080, we can run this on our computer. This is running locally on our computer, where Lovable, in Lovable's case, it just created a virtual machine and it ran it on that computer, and it showed you what it created. You probably already know that Claude Code is by far the best coding agent in the world. It can create entire apps from a simple prompt, both front end and back end. It can blow your mind in terms of the design of that app. But what you might not know is you can actually use Claude Code as a general agent. And Anthropic released something really interesting a few weeks ago. They released what is called Claude Skills, which is just a special type of markdown file, which allows you to surround Claude Code with relevant skills. So if you wished that you had an AI agent that had relevant skills, I believe that this is probably the most important thing that you could be studying right now. And so in this video, we're going to talk about how to set up Claude Skills. We're also going to talk about how to use Claude Code as a general agent. And we're going to talk about how you need to set up your skill.md file and what folders. And I'm going to show you how to just use AI to create these skills. Let's talk about building a general agent with relevant skills for your business, whether you're a content creator, business owner, aspiring entrepreneur. We're going to build an agent with relevant skills to you. And we're going to use that agent. Let's dive in. Okay, so we're going to start off by talking about what is a coding agent. You may have heard of Lovable, and this video is not about Lovable. We're not even going to use Lovable. I just wanted to make a point real quick. So many people are talking about vibe coding. You can use tools like Lovable, Replit, Vibe Code. These are coding agents that you can use to build apps. And whenever I go to Lovable and type in make a landing page about pizza, right now what it's doing is it's spinning up a sandbox, which is basically a virtual computer, and it's going to run an AI agent or an AI coding agent on the side. Now it's going to generate a bunch of files within a directory or code base, and those files are going to make an app. And so this is an AI coding agent at work building an app. Okay, so it's done. The Lovable coding agent took my prompt, make a landing page about pizza. It generated all of the files. This coding agent decided what files it needed to generate. It generated them, and then it probably reviewed those files, and then it ran the program in a virtual computer somewhere so I can see it on my browser, because this is within a web browser. And so this is an example of an agent made specifically for creating simple applications, a very narrow agent experience where it's made specifically for creating certain types of apps with certain stacks. And we could do this same thing on our computer, right? We could do the same thing on our computer. If we were to go to Finder, we can just go straight into our downloads, right? We can go straight into our downloads and we could go new folder. We can go like this. We can say using Claude Code, right? So we don't even need any IDE or something like Cursor or Lovable. I can open a terminal window. I can open a new terminal at this folder, and we can just run Claude. So now we're running Claude Code in this empty folder called using Claude Code, which is an empty folder. And I can just say, please build a beautiful, amazing landing page for my pizza shop, Riley's Pizza Shop. Make it in the style of neo-brutalism mixed with a friendly pizza energy. So just like Lovable, we can run this. And Claude Code in this empty folder is going to create the application right here. Okay, check this out. It just generated an index.html file. And there we go. It created a file the same way that Lovable is creating all the different files and putting them in a folder in some virtual machine. It's just a virtual computer. We're doing this on our computer. It's doing the same exact thing Lovable is doing. And the point I want to make here, you can just use these coding models on your computer. And coding files, right? This is an HTML file and this is a CSS file. This is not the only type of file you can create with Claude Code. You can create any type of file. So it is done. And if we just copy this link right here and we paste in localhost 8080, we can run this on our computer. This is running locally on our computer, where Lovable, in Lovable's case, it just created a virtual machine and it ran it on that computer and it showed you what it created on the browser. Now we're running this fully on our computer, and we didn't use any like software in between. We generated the code files with an AI coding agent on our computer. It used an AI model from Anthropic servers to create those files. So that's where it costs money. But we didn't use any other software other than getting Claude to generate all the files. And we're running it on our MacBook Pro. And this is the website that it created. And you'll notice that, in my opinion, I've tested every single one of these coding agents. Just raw Claude Code is the best in the world. So Replit and Lovable, they have their own coding agents. Claude Code out of the box is better than all of them. And so what I want to explain now is how you can use this as a general agent. So this right here is Obsidian. And this is just a basic notes app where every file, instead of the files being an HTML file or a JavaScript file or a CSS file, which ultimately created this application that we can use, instead of it being one of those types of files, these are all markdown files. So the way that I use general agents is I actually use Claude Code at the same location as my notes. Like, this is my agent workspace. This is kind of how I think about this. This is a notebook, and Riley Brown uses this as his personal notebook so that he can be a better CMO and co-founder of the Vibe Code app. And I basically state all of my goals. Why am I stating this? I know my goals. Why am I writing this? Because I don't use this by myself. I use this with my general agent, which is Claude Code. And what I can do here is I can actually click on this, or I can right click on this and hit reveal in Finder. So here we can see Riley content creation. That's basically what I called this file. And you'll see here all of these different files here. Like this is just a wrapper of these files that are showing up on my computer, right? This is just in my computer. And so the same way that I ran Claude Code in a new folder, I can run Claude Code in this folder. So I can reveal this in Finder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, Services, New Terminal at Folder, right? New Terminal at Folder. Now you can see here that it is running. So we're in this folder right here, which is the same folder where all of this is located. And now we can run Claude. And so now we have Claude Code running in the folder that has all of my notes. And so I can use it with Claude Code. So I could go into tasks, right? And this is how I keep track of my tasks. I could go into queue. Let's say these are both done, right? These are the things that I want to do. And so in my queue, one thing that I do want to do, and I can just drag this in here. One thing that I do want to do is I want to explain Claude skills to my audience and make a video, right? This is one thing that I really want to do. I want to share the file structure of Claude skills. And then I want to take my notebook and examine what Claude skills would be useful for me to create. And I'm do this on this page. Don't create or edit any other files, just make a plan and do it. Okay, so we just created this markdown file of this thing that I want to do. The cool thing is I can just ask Claude Code to do it. I can just say, do what's in my queue, right? That's all I need to say. I can say, yo, do what's in my queue. And because the first thing that this agent's going to do is analyze the README file, it's going to see how it's organized, right? It's going to know that there's tasks. It's going to know what the queue is, draft tasks. So it's just going to know to check the queue. And because Claude Code is such a powerful agent and it's really good at looking through the code base, in this case, which is just a bunch of my notes, it's going to find the right location. It's really smart. And it's going to find this page, and it's just going to do what I want it to do. And we'll just wait for Claude Code to do that. And you'll see here that we never said to look at this file. It doesn't know that I have this file open. It just found what's in my queue. And you can see here it's examining notebook for skill ideas. It found the right file, and now it's creating the relevant things. Allow it to edit this session. Boom, look at that. So it just added all of this. It added all of this to this document. It told us what skills are, right? And it told us that from the Anthropic skills repo, it basically did research. It's found the Claude skills repo. And now it is telling us that you can create within the claude.md file, you can create a skill by creating a folder with the skill name. And inside that folder, it needs to have a Claude or a skill.md file. And then you can put optional resources within that folder. And so you can even put assets, references, etc. And I'll get to that in just a second. The point I wanted to make is the same way Lovable was a coding specific example of using an agent, this is a notes specific example for using an agent. So I promise you, we're working our way up to creating Claude skills. I just wanted to illustrate the point. I wanted to talk about what a domain specific agent was, like the Lovable agent that can create apps. Then I showed you a note-taking example where you can use Claude Code as a general agent. Now we're going to use it in a wide open world within Cursor. And we can do literally whatever we want. I like to use Cursor because it's just the best, in my opinion, for quickly using Claude Code. And it's ironic because we can just say Claude Code skills. So we're going to be creating Claude skills in this project. So I'll just name it that. And now it is opening up this directory in an IDE. So Cursor is just an IDE like VS Code where you can view all the files. And so the way that I vibe code is I'm just going to come in here. And the first thing that I'm going to do is hit Command J. We're going to open up the terminal and we're going to type Claude. Then we're going to press this right here to open up the side panel. And so now we have Claude Code on the left or on the right controlling this directory, which is Claude Code skills. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to say, please take a look at this repo, and I'm going to paste this GitHub to the Anthropic skills right here. Please create one simple skill in the right format so that you will use this skill when you need to. Okay, so right now it's creating an example skill. What it's going to do is it's going to create a .claude file. It's going to create a .claude file. As you can see here, it's created this .claude file. It's also going to create a skills folder, as you'll see in just a second. Okay, there you go. It created a folder called .claude, and then it created a skills folder within that, and then it has other folders beneath it. So it created this summarize folder with a skill MD. That's all you need to create a skill. You just need to put in the .claude folder because Claude Code knows to look in the .claude folder for certain things like subagents and now skills. We're not talking about subagents in this video. We're just talking about skills.
Dude.
So we created this skills folder. And within this
You
folder,
guys don't know
we
how
see
to
this
do this shit right
skill.md.
now, you're fucking falling behind, dude. I'm just gonna tell you straight up. If you don't know any of this shit, you're falling behind, bro. Straight up. If you don't have Claude right now, and if you haven't downloaded it and you're not using it, you're not trying it out, you're not learning new things, you're not learning how to use AI, you're going to be fucked. You're going to be left way behind. And I always tell people, get right or get left behind. And you don't want to get left behind, bro. It's not fun. You know, you don't want to get left behind. So if I were you, I'd pay attention to this shit, bro.
And every single skill.md file should be formatted with the name and description, right? It should have a name and description. You can see here that this one that I've created is called brand voice, which is skill number 1. And then there is a name and description. And so the name is just a human-friendly title. It can be anything. But the crucial part is this description because it tells Claude Code when to use this skill. And so we're reaching a point where you can get agents to do things with a simple markdown file. But what you need to do is you need to make sure that you format it correctly so Claude Code knows when to follow your instructions. Because basically all skills are, the way that I think about them, is they are just SOPs or standard operating procedures, SOPs for agents. And so, right, these are instructions on what to do in certain scenarios. And if you put a high quality description, it'll know what instruction manual or SOP to use when it needs to do a specific task. And so I don't really want to use this summarize skill. I actually want to create a skill that's much more relevant to me. Okay, so I just want to show you what I've been doing. I've been annotating my Twitter posts because I can give these to Claude. I can put these in Claude skills so that the agent knows how I post. And so I can say short video attached to this photo. This is a Twitter account that I run, by the way, that helps me grow Vibe Code. And I can say senior Vibe coder is rage bait and works. Don't do this often, right? And I just put this directly on the image, and it helps me kind of annotate my images here. And I'm just going to exit out. Let's save. And we can save all these. And so what we can do here is we can just take all of these files. We can drag them in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a new skill here. And what we can do is we can just drag these images in here. Now we're going to go to Claude Code. I want you to replace this summarize skill. And because this is a folder, right, I can just type @summarize, right? I can say replace this summarize skill. This skill, the whole summarize skill should be replaced with a Twitter post X post skill. This skill should allow the agent to create tweets in my style and use the images that are in the new skill here folder as a reference. So please create that skill now. So we're basically going to tell Claude Code to analyze these images. It's going to look for patterns in how I speak. And actually, one thing I can mention, I just hit the backspace. just know the red text in these images are annotations. So that's not part of the post. These are my annotations to you on why I did certain things. So take that into consideration when constructing this skill. Right.
We're gonna find some dope shit, you know what I mean? But I want to let you guys know, if you guys don't have a way to make money right now, that's not 9 to 5, like working a 9 to 5 job, you're gonna hate your life, dude. You got to get out of that slave mentality where you're fucking working hours on end for somebody else, dude. You might as well open up your own business. You know, with this AI stuff, you can do a lot for other businesses and charge them some stuff that you don't have no idea how to do, and you can do on Claude easily. You charge certain companies, you know, a certain amount, and you make their agents for them, and you make their life easier, and they'll pay you. You know, they'll pay you. There's a lot of ways to make money, guys, right now. The thing I've always said is money is easy to make. Okay, money is easy to make. It's what you're doing with that money, you making that money. Okay, because it's easy to make money. Money's like a game, right? So what are you doing to make that money, and what are you doing to give back? That's the question. Okay, what are you doing to make society a better place? That's the question. Are you doing anything that makes society better? That's the question you must ask yourself, because it's not what your country can do for you, it's what you can do for your country. And we are in a crazy time period right now where there's a lot of information coming out, a lot of artificial intelligence, and there's so many things and so many tools that you can use to help other businesses, you know, succeed. And now you can charge for those, for those services. It's an amazing thing with this whole AI thing. I love Claude Code. Anti-Gravity is a good program also. But yeah, you can make money with Polymarket, you know, with these AI bots. They're on point. You know, they're looking at weather markets, you know, they're looking at markets that nobody ever checks. And that's how people are making their money. So get in with this AI stuff, guys. Don't wait till the last minute. Okay. Don't wait till the last minute. Get it together, and know what the hell you're doing so that you can make some money.
Into these markdown formats, and it converted it into a skill. What it didn't do is, I didn't specify this. That was just a temporary folder. Please remove that folder, but add those images into that skill folder as references, because this doesn't need to be here. This can just go into the skill. And right, so right now we have 2 skills. We're going to add another skill in just a second. So we have 1 skill, and every skill needs a claude.md file. So it just created this, and now it has these references that it can use right here. What we can do if we want, references to posts. And we can select all of these, and we can just like move them in here. So we have references and then the skill.md file. You need this skill.md file, right? And so what we can do, I want you to create a markdown file in the root. And when I say in the root, I mean, right, there's the folder that we opened up originally, which is Claude Code Skills. This is the root folder. So it should put it below the .claude folder. The .claude folder is also in the root. The skills folder is in the .claude folder, thus not in the root. Just wanted to be clear. In the root, and come up with 10 ideas for the Twitter copy based on my last video where I explained Claude skills. Should match. And then I can give it that GitHub repo link. I mentioned skills and explained why it's important for general use cases for like marketing and as general agent. Okay, so let's say I made this video because I'm making this video right now. What I would probably do is feed in the transcript of this video, and then it would generate 10 options. So it would have more context of the video we're creating. But since I'm making the video right now, I can't give it the transcript, but that's okay. It's going to create a markdown file in the root, and it's going to use this skill. Okay, so it is done. Okay, you'll see that when you see this green dot and it
Bev, I need to buy
when you see this green dot and it has X post,
Claude.
that means it's using that skill,
$17,
right? It is using the X post skill, and we're going to allow it to create these files, and boom.
So I need to buy a card for $17. I've already used all my credits for the free one. We're gonna need that shit. So I need to buy it again. Whenever you have a chance, I can just put the card in, just buy it. Or just send me the money. I think it's 20 bucks total. It's $17, 17 something. All right, so
Twitter ideas. So here we go. Claude Code just became a general agent, not a chatbot, an agent that does your workflows. Anthropic just released skills, reusable prompt templates, invoke with slash commands, marketing teams. Okay, so this is really good. Oh my, this shouldn't be possible. I turned Claude into my personal marketing team. Social media copy on demand, email sequences in seconds, brand voice locked in permanently. 0 prompting every time. How? Claude skills. 1 markdown file, infinite workflows. This is very good. So it wrote this in my voice using this skill. But it gets much cooler than this. So if we
I don't understand. I need to bro.
Let's go to Arc. So we're going to go to Typefully.com, and in Typefully, we can go to Settings, and we could go to API, and we can hit New API Key. And so this is going to be test key for me, create API key. I'm going to delete this right after this video. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this docs, and this explains exactly how to use this API key. So what I'm trying to do here is I don't want it to just come up with ideas. I want them to draft them in this tool where I can post directly to social media. So in theory, I could have an agent come up with tweets and automatically draft them within Typefully, because that's what you can do here on this platform, right? We could have it directly post this as a draft here, right? It can schedule a new draft. And so that's exactly what I'm going to tell it. So I want you to add to our X.
I'm going to save this for you, though.
By Dave Smith, and it wasn't even close. There's just so many clips circulating on social media about him getting completely owned by Dave. And just for some background context, I actually do watch the PBD podcast pretty religiously. Although I'm not a huge fan of Adam, I do agree with him on a lot of points. However, he's just a little too Israeli first, in my opinion, as of late. Dave, on the other hand, I do agree with him a lot too also, but I don't really consume much of his content. That said, lately he's been veering off, I don't know, call it the center or the left, but away from MAGA. Not that he was ever MAGA, but basically away from Trump. He's more on that Candace Tucker, that woke right side that's kind of, formed recently. Anyways, let's just get into this clip here. I do have
What up? What up? Hopefully y'all having a good day, right?
This is AI economics perfected. Throughput, maxed, costs.
Up next, leg drops. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So Monday, the president, before markets open, which was interesting, announces that the United States is pulling back from his promise to start hitting civilian infrastructure, energy infrastructure in Iran. And we're doing that because we're going to try and find some negotiated settlement. And we've been talking to the Iranians, and there is a way out of this. We don't have to get to the point where we're waging total war, not just against the government of Iran or the Ayatollahs or the theocracy or whatever we say we're doing, but against the people of Iran, turning off their electricity, ending their drinking water, letting them die of exposure or whatever. Total war against a country of almost 100 million people. And nobody wants that, or at least no one should want that. So the president announced, hey, we're in talks, we're pulling back. But within just a couple of hours, our partner in Jerusalem, Benjamin Netanyahu, the guy we're in this war with, issued this statement. Listen carefully.
מוקדם יותר היום שוחחתי עם ידידנו הנשיא טראמפ. הנשיא טראמפ מאמין שיש סיכוי למנף את ההישגים הכבירים של צה"ל וצבא ארצות הברית כדי לממש את יעדי המלחמה בהסכם, הסכם שישמור על האינטרסים החיוניים שלנו. במקביל, אנחנו ממשיכים לתקוף גם באיראן וגם בלבנון. אנחנו קודשים את תוכנית הטילים ותוכנית הגרעין עד דק וממשיכים לפגוע קשות בחיזבאללה. רק לפני ימים אחדים חיסלנו
moving the borders of Israel outward, taking other people's land. And they're saying that in the Israeli government. This is a win because we've moved our borders outward. So we're paying for that. We're making that possible. As Americans die, and a number have died in this war, Israel is using that opportunity, our money, our weapons, the lives of our soldiers, to expand its territory. So that's not our vital interest. You can agree or disagree with that. And by the way, if you've been yelling about the Russian invasion of Ukraine, you should probably yell about this because it's even less defensible, really. But they're saying that, and no one in the US government has told them to stop. And so what does that mean for us? Well, it means that Israel somehow is in control of the course of this war. And they have been since the beginning. We learned this week, for example, that the decision to go into this war and to kill the Ayatollah in the opening hours of this war was made on intelligence, on the basis of intelligence supplied to the US government by Mossad, the Israeli intel agency, not from the CIA. CIA, which no one wants to defend, but in this specific case sounds like was a voice for restraint. And again, that's why we have intel agencies, so they can advise the president about what to do next on the basis of the best available information. That's the idea anyway. And apparently CIA was telling the White House, no, you can kill the head of Shia Islam, but that probably won't topple the government, and there probably won't be in the aftermath of that killing this spontaneous creation of a liberal democracy in Southwest Asia. Probably not going to happen. But Mossad.
With Lucid Spark, you can bring your team's best and brightest ideas to life. The virtual whiteboard is an infinite canvas, perfect for creativity and collaboration. Drop in ideas, sort and group your best ones, take a vote, and move forward with alignment. When you're ready to share your ideas with larger teams, use Lucid Chart to clarify complexity through intelligent diagramming and help get
everyone. Had another scenario. They believed, or said they believed, that knocking off the religious leadership, the head of the snake in this theocracy, would result in spontaneous regime change, and we wouldn't have to really get involved beyond just the initial bombing campaign. And that's very appealing to Americans who fought war from the air for a long time. And that's at this point pretty much the only thing that the American public will accept. You know, a low risk, very expensive, but low risk operation that doesn't take very long, where you achieve your objectives by killing the right people with bombs. But nobody in the United States, well, almost nobody, has any great desire to send U.S. troops. In fact, in June, when the government of Israel and its many paid spokesmen in the United States were pushing for what became the 12-day war, we're just going to take out the nuclear sites, there were people who said, no, that's not what this is. This is a regime change effort. And if pursued, it will wind up with boots on the ground, with the commitment of American troops. And once that happens, it's kind of hard to see how to extricate them. And a lot of them could get killed. And anyone who said that at the time was denounced as crazy, a conspiracy theorist, a grifter. Well, yeah. 9 months later, that's exactly where we are. Today, the head of Mossad, smart, seasoned guy, said that he believes, apparently said this, that he believes regime change in Iran, which is apparently now the stated goal, will require at least a year to change the regime in Iran. So that right there is Israel saying we're going to need the commitment of American troops. Americans are going to have to go there. And surprise, surprise, Americans are going there. There's not been an invasion of Iran, of the mainland or any of the islands in the Persian Gulf just yet, but there is clearly preparation for that. There are many thousands of U.S. troops headed there right now. Some are already stationed in the area. And this looks like the kind of preparation that you would do if you were planning a land assault on a huge mountainous country that's surprisingly cohesive and very well armed. And from what we can tell, there's not a lot of enthusiasm for doing this among people who spend their lives thinking through military tactics and strategy. This doesn't seem like the kind of move that's going to end the war in our favor quickly. It seems like the kind of move that could result in disaster. We pray it doesn't. But that once made will almost certainly result in a long-term commitment to fighting on the ground in Iran, the very thing we were told we were insane to worry about. Now everyone's going to say, oh yeah, it's going to take some boots on the ground. And one of the things you learn as you watch this change, where something that was totally unimaginable and insane, it was space aliens level crazy just 9 months ago to suggest this could happen. One of the things you notice as you watch people now advocate for it, those very same people advocate for this thing that was never going to happen and you were crazy to worry about, is the kind of blasé insouciance that they display, the kind of, boots on the ground, as they call for it. And there's no place where you see this more. The world headquarters for boots on the ground would, of course, be Fox News. So here is Keith Kellogg, retired General Keith Kellogg, who will be 82 years old in a month, telling you that, yeah, boots on the ground, not a big deal. Watch.
I'm a big believer in putting boots on the ground, not necessarily into Iran, but taking Karg Island and also taking the Strait of Hormuz. Look, we kind of need to do it the way the Romans used to do it. You need to put, your legions on the ground to secure the territory and give them confidence that they can do it, that we can open up the strait. Look, I know there's risk involved. There's always risk involved, but those kids, those young men and women, they understand the risk involved on taking both Karg and opening up the Strait of Hormuz.
Just got to put boots on the ground. Now, what's interesting is the last line. What's interesting, by the way, that it's Keith Kellogg. Keith Kellogg is one of the reasons there has been no settlement in the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. So Keith Kellogg was appointed by the new administration very, very early in January to be the
I like this. Is this the same show? Do we know if this is the same show from the? This is from this morning.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you meant.
Can we get a report on why Vinny is now dressing in a 3-piece suit?
He's got a court date.
I told you, I think he's late because you heard that guy who left the show, right? Like the producer who said that like PBD would like punish people for being late and lock them out at.
Is that it? So you think he's like on secret probation?
Yeah, I think he defied the cult in some way or something. That's my guess.
Well, Vinny's been dressing nicely as of late, and maybe it's like maybe it. I would guess it's like one of two things. Either Patrick Bet-David has raised the cost of having an hour, a Zoom call with him, and so everybody's got to wear a suit to justify that it's now like $45,000 an hour or whatever it is, or he's having trouble getting the 40,000 and he needs everybody in a suit to juice it.
Or Vinny met a guy at Casa D'Angelo that sells suits.
Or Vinny, they're trying to get Vinny to also do like, dude, you can do the hour for, $1,800. But you need to wear a suit. If you want a taste of this, look at Tom over there.
Yeah.
He's making money and he's wearing a suit. So if you want to be on Manect, you gotta go ahead.
On the ground there at all, personally.
Ready? Again, we're people need to understand we're in war, and in war you have to do tactics. And I think, the president knows what he's doing when it comes to information here, posting this, market goes down. But the one thing that bothers me is the fact that if we strike, Tom, and correct me if I'm wrong, power plants in Iran, the very people that we were talking about helping are going to suffer the most. Besides the military, besides everybody else, we start striking because already the oil, it's on fire. They're breathing all that stuff in. If we start attacking the power plant for Iran, the people that were in the streets fighting and trying to revolt to go against this Islamic.
Why do you say that?
Pause it for 1 second.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Can I just say, I don't know what's happened, but ever since this guy's in a suit,
I know.
Everything he said there is like perhaps one of the most humane and rational things I've heard on this show. He's absolutely right. I mean, the credit he's giving to Donald Trump, I think, is probably unwarranted, but nevertheless,
a little bit knee jerk.
He understands and recognizes the human cost.
Yep.
All right, go back a little bit because now this is why Patrick Bet-David is going to be like,
why you say that?
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
PBD's actual skill set here is basically bludgeoning somebody into submission.
The power plant for Iran, the people that were in the streets fighting and trying to revolt to go against this Islamic.
Why do you say that?
Well, think about it. If you hit the power plants, all the power is going to be gone. We're seeing what's happening in Cuba right now. They haven't had power for how many days? If you hit the power plants, all the people are going to suffer in Iran. It's not going to be just military. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
That's my thing, and I get it. It's war, but if that happens, the same people that we were trying to help are going to be affected.
So what's the reason why we're in there?
Well, the initial reason I thought the first time we went to Iran was because people were in the streets. 40,000 people were killed for protesting, and we were supposed to go in there and help them put in a leader. I think once Trump talked to Reza Pahlavi, he realized that guy wasn't the guy. But then from what we're hearing, it's now, this is from what I'm gathering, then now we're like, oh, they were trying to get a nuclear weapon, which I thought we knocked that all out 6 months ago. I thought that was done.
The story came out that maybe we didn't go all the way in and we didn't fully destroy it. Maybe we did.
Pause it for 1 second. I don't want to interrupt his fantasizing about the story came out. But Vinny is like right on top of it, like, oh, there's been changing reasons why we went in there, and we thought we were going to insert a leader, and then somewhere around like week 2 of the war, we realized the king that we thought we were going to put in, he's useless, and so we can't do that. Whoopsie. Incidentally, should tell you that purposely blowing up power plants so that the civilian population loses power, aside from obviously like a lot of people are going to die. I don't know, dialysis, ventilators, whatever it is, people are going to die. That type of collective punishment is actually a war crime.
Says who?
I mean, come on. Obviously some...
Why you say that?
But here he is back now with a new story. I'm curious where you heard this story. Oh, I heard that we actually didn't get the beauty of trying to bomb and destroy a nuclear program that doesn't exist is that you can either succeed or fail and do both simultaneously and in retrospect.
Yeah, then there's actually no plans to go after the stockpile. Trump's even admitted it.
Like, no, they didn't fully destroy everything they did, and who knows the real story behind what happened there. So, okay, Adam, your thoughts on this?
No, I don't
want to help the terrorists, but if the terrorists, they're the IRGC in Iran, actually want to understand Trump, they should read one book. It's called The Art of the Deal. Because if they read that book and put down the Quran and put up this book, they'll actually probably understand Trump's mindset. You talk about asymmetric warfare. How many times have you heard that term? Asymmetric warfare. They got drones, we got missiles, all of that.
Yep.
Trump is also using asymmetric warfare. He's basically saying, you got 48 hours, tough guy. They're like, what? Hold on. What? Are we going to call him? We're going to talk to him? All right, just kidding. You got 5 days. And then in 3 days, he bombs them. And they're like, what? I thought it was 48 hours. I thought Trump is unpredictable. He's using tactics like Vinny said. And then if you follow The Art of the Deal, what does he talk about? Thinking big. He talks about creating leverage, talks about controlling the narrative, which he's doing. All eyes on Trump.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And then it's always negotiating from strength. Vinny, you okay, baby?
Yeah.
Spitting out water on me?
I'm just almost.
Anyway, the last thing I'll say is this. Thank God we got Trump in there.
Okay, that's enough of. I'll just say, you look at.
Is Vinny laughing at him?
Yeah. I think he swallowed wrong. I don't think it was anything about the content. I think he just is not used to water bottles. But I will say the chat is insanely pro Vinny and basically just take shots at Adam the entire time.
I mean, this is just one of the most sort of like dumbest retconning I've ever heard. Like, okay, Trump is going to, well, why couldn't Trump say 48 hours and attack him 24 hours later? Right. No, it's the old, I don't know what I'm doing. I make you think I don't know what I'm doing, but I know exactly what I'm doing. Totally. Oh, and what about that jujitsu move we made by letting them have more oil revenue, huh? That really? And they're like, oh, we have more oil revenue. And then what happens? They have more oil revenue and they're so excited and they're confused. They're so confused. They don't know which way is up.
Iran is
give them a nuke.
Iran is taunting them about the Strait of Hormuz and saying we're impatiently awaiting you to land Marines on our shores. Like, I don't think it's whoa, what's going on? No, they're saying bring it on. We're that crazy. We'll fight to the death for this. Like, calling the bluff, I think, is what I would call it. I don't know if that's controlling the narrative.
It is. Are the comments under that video still like? PBD's own audience is going like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Here's the comments, of course. Let's go there. The very top one. Adam is the Lindsey Graham of PBD podcast.
Nice.
Not sure what that means. Way to open with the new set with a prayer. They prayed it. Okay, I missed that part. Love to start with a prayer. So they really, I mean, there's some red meat to,
Okay, if you're still getting Slack messages asking, how do I do that thing again? I'm about to change your life. I used to
The hood thick today. It's Friday in the hood thick.
Anybody that's getting in is paying to skip the line. That is $100 a person.
If you are one of those people making spring break link-up arrangements like the world was ending last Friday, please go get tested immediately. Whether you're a man, woman, in a situationship, sneaky link, whatever category you file yourself under. If you are outside moving irresponsibly, this conversation is definitely about you. And no, this is not me saying spring break is the sole reason HIV exists. Calm down. What I am saying is that these kinds of environments bring out the exact type of behavior that can raise the risks, such as impulsive sex, little to no protection, drinking, bad judgment, excitement, and then absolutely no urgency afterwards. Go get tested.
Never have I ever stole money out somebody's purse. I was supposed to be so-called help.
Bro, you know I did that though. You know I stole some money.
Every year, just like clockwork, it is the same little performance. Cheap flights, making bad decisions. Somebody's cousin magically knows a club promoter. Everybody becomes a travel content creator for just that week. Miami gets packed. Atlanta gets packed, Houston gets packed, and Florida in general just absolutely gets sat on. Then a little while later, folks start acting confused when the conversation swings back around to HIV, STIs, STDs, risky sex, and all the other things people swear only happen to other people. Now, let me say this again before somebody starts foaming at the mouth. Spring break itself does not cause HIV, but the behavior that tends to spike in those environments, that is where the real conversation starts. I've seen too many young folks talking about HIV or even STDs and STIs as if they're just hangovers. They'll just go away in a day. Everything is fine. They swear you can do something reckless Friday, wake up Saturday, feel awful, lesson learned, the end. That is not how HIV works. And also, go get tested. So because of this, I think it is very important to talk about HIV. You can apply this to STDs, STIs, so on and so forth. With HIV, though, there can be a gap between exposure, infection, testing, diagnosis, as well as reporting. The CDC and HIV.org both note that HIV diagnosis numbers tell you when someone was diagnosed and not necessarily when they got infected. Meaning somebody can have a reckless weekend, they can get exposed to HIV, they can go home, keep living life, keep posting whatever they want to post, keep clocking into work, keep entertaining people, and not know a thing for a while. So when somebody says, well, where's the immediate stats on HIV spikes right after spring break? The question's already built wrong. You've already failed if that's your mindset, because HIV can move quietly while people move loudly. Another area where people get things mixed up is thinking HIV and AIDS are the same thing. The best way that I can explain it is HIV is the virus and AIDS is the most advanced stages of untreated HIV. So a person develops
I don't encourage weight loss.
I was too big to get on the plane.
I can anybody on the street.
From Jillian Michaels' Surrounded episode on Jubilee to Southwest seeing backlash for discriminating against people. In this video, we'll be going through it all and talking about why so many people are against body positivity and the whole fat acceptance movement. And off the bat, let this be a reminder that you're not alone for thinking the way that you do. If you like real, honest commentary like this, then be sure to subscribe. It helps the channel grow a ton. And let's get right into this video.
I'm going to do my best to not use the O word because I find it pretty offensive. So I'm going to use fat body.
You're an eating disorder therapist and you refuse to say the O word, which she's talking about obese, and you prefer to use the term fat bodied. That sounds more offensive than anything. I feel like what this interaction really sets up and what it really highlights is how coddled we are treating people in society and how we're trying to be so nice, so empathetic. Oh, we can't say this, can't say that. That's a part of the problem. Refusing to say the words obese from a food therapist because you don't want to hurt somebody or you think it's a slur, that's a problem in itself. I feel like as a society, we've grown to be just way too empathetic. We're way too nice, way too kind. Not to say that I want everything to be evil or bad, but damn, when you get to a point where you're just so like fake nice, it gets a little off. It does. I don't want to use the term obese because it hurts somebody's feeling. Well, then damn it. Oh, well. If it's their feelings, it hurts their feeling. But if they're obese, then they're obese. What do you want to do about it? What are you going to call it? You'd rather use the term fat bodied? No, you're obese. I don't know what else to tell you.
You introduced yourself. You talked about being a health advocate.
Number of gays I've seen tell a story about how they fell in love with it.
What the fuck is this, dude? This is crazy. Let's just watch this shit. Unbelievable.
A straight guy. I'm like, literally how?
I'm gonna say this one time. Just because a straight guy is nice to you does not mean that he's in love with you.
Personality-wise, I find straight guys so f***ing boring. Like,
As gay men, we've all dealt with this. You befriend a straight guy, they act super friendly to the point that you're like, do they like me? Am I that one gay that they're making an exception for? And after years of being bullied by them, when one actually seems like they like you, it almost gives you the wrong impression and you do something that might scare them away. And this only perpetuates the stereotype that all gay men hit on straight men, which isn't true, but a lot do. Have you ever fallen for a straight guy? Because I have. So we're going to check out some clips today that talk about this subject and see points of view from both gay guys and straight guys on this subject. So if you have any personal experience about this topic, or you just have something to say, leave a comment below. Otherwise, let's get into it.
Why are gay men so obsessed with straight men?
I feel like in a way you finally got the approval of your elementary, middle school self that was bullied. And then when you get like that straight guy that is just like fine with like a little flirty or just like funny or whatever, you're like,
yes, we went viral a month ago, but that's not why almost 1,000 teams are already paying us.
oh, I'm one of the boys.
Have you ever had a crush on a straight guy?
Yes.
I mean, I think that's just a canon event for gay guys. Like, who hasn't? Yeah, I did. In college, I was a straight guy who I used to.
Is the issue, do you think, more about a desire for sex or coupling?
You mean in terms of why people aren't having it?
Yeah.
It's probably both. I think at the core, everybody wants to find someone. Many people may say that they've given up and they're happy on their own, but I do think that's what most people deep down want. And sex is, the thing with sex though, I think porn is a big part of this issue in terms of why people are turning away from actual sexual activity. They're getting their needs met through this proxy that simulates real sexual activity, because when you're watching porn, the same network of brain regions is activated as when you're actually having sex. So you're having the resulting orgasm and you are, getting these feel good chemicals. It helps to self-soothe and regulate your emotions, help calm down if you're stressed out. And so it makes men, I think in particular, less likely to want to go out and go through the hassle of having to talk to a woman, having to sit through a date, having to pay for the date, having to follow up and all this stuff. Like, why bother do that if you can get sexual gratification on a screen? But I think also that leads to potentially like an overall sense of lethargy, because when you are masturbating and having orgasm, you are, you're going to be sleepy after. So is that also, you can tell me, do you think this is a trend, not for you, but just a trend more generally with young men in terms of, does this affect their motivation? Because I'm wondering for guys.
Yesterday, Anthropic published a fascinating article on harness design for long-running agents. And there are some interesting insights.
OpenClaw just dropped version 3.22. And I'm going to be honest with you, this isn't just an upgrade. This is OpenClaw crossing a line it's never crossed before. They released it yesterday. The changelog was so big, they said they needed its own table of contents. That's not marketing. That's what they actually wrote. So let's talk about what just happened, because if you've been following OpenClaw, you know how fast this thing moves. And 3.22 just shifted gears again. The headline feature is ClawHub. ClawHub is OpenClaw's new plugin marketplace. Think of it like an app store, but for AI agents, right? So you type one command, you search for a skill, you install it, done. Your agent just learned a new trick. Before this, adding new abilities to your AI agent was messy. You were digging through NPM packages, hunting GitHub repos, figuring out configs. It worked, but it still felt like assembling furniture with no instructions. Now, one command, search, install, done. ClawHub is now the default install source. So when you run the install command, OpenClaw checks ClawHub first before anything else. NPM is still there as a backup, but the marketplace comes first. That's not a small thing. That's OpenClaw saying we are a platform right now, not just a tool. Think about what happened when Apple launched the App Store in 2008. The iPhone was already successful, but the App Store is what turned it into something you just couldn't put down. Developers built on top of it. The whole thing got bigger than anyone expected. And ClawHub is that moment for AI agents. The ecosystem just opened up. And here's where it gets really interesting for you personally, right? OpenClaw now has 13,700 skills available in Claw Hub. And that number is growing fast. Skills for research, skills for automation, skills for outreach, skills that connect to tools you already use every single day. So a social media agency could install a skill that pulls trending topics, writes post drafts, and schedules them all from a chat message with one agent, one command, and then the job is done. That's not a fantasy. That's what this platform is designed to do right now. But Claw Hub isn't even the only thing inside 3.22, not even close. So OpenClaw now runs on GPT 5.4 as the default model. That's a big deal. GPT 5.4 is faster, more accurate at following instructions, and better at chaining tool calls together. Your agent is now smarter by default. You didn't have to do anything to add that in. They also added native support for 3 search tools, Exa, Tavily, and Firecrawl. Exa comes with date filters, so agents can find information from specific timeframes. Tavily provides LLM-optimized results that cut down on the noise, and Firecrawl can convert any URL into clean text that an AI can actually read. Put those together and you have an AI agent that can research almost anything in real time and actually understand what it finds. A freelance content creator, for example, could point their OpenClaw agent at a competitor's website and then have it pull the latest post, summarize the key angles, and suggest 5 original article ideas in just under 2 minutes. That used to take half a day. Now let's talk about something that matters even more than the features. OpenClaw 3.22 lets agents ask clarifying questions mid-task. So you can actually ask these quick, non-blocking questions and go through the main workflow. The agent can check in, get your answer, and keep going. That sounds small, but it's not. One of the biggest problems with AI agents is that they guess when they're not sure. They can make an assumption halfway through a task and go off in totally the wrong direction. By the time you notice, it's just too late. Now the agent actually asks you quickly without stopping anything. That's the difference between an agent that helps someone that creates more work. Now, if you use Claude, for example, you'll probably have seen this already, but now this is implemented directly inside Claude as well. And there's also a new command called / by the way. You can ask your agent a quick side question. And with this, it doesn't affect the main conversation or change the context of what it's doing. It's a small thing, but genuinely useful. This means, for example, you could be using it, you're waiting for your workflow to finish, but then what you can do is type / by the way, and you're good to go. And they added per agent reasoning. That means different agents can now use different thinking strategies depending on what they're working on. A fast agent for quick replies, a slower, deeper reasoning agent for complex tasks. You could set this up per agent. Before 3.22, you had one brain for everything. Now you can match the thinking to the task. Now, I want to be straight with you about something. OpenClaw has had security issues this year, like real ones. Earlier in 2026, researchers found vulnerabilities that let bad actors take control of agent instances. At one point, over 21,000 OpenClaw instances were publicly exposed on the internet. Malicious skills showed up in the marketplace. The team has been patching aggressively. And 3.22 includes a serious round of security fixes, better plugin verification, tighter authentication, proxy spoofing protection, and hardened exec paths. The update closes several meaningful security vulnerabilities, including improved proxy spoofing protection, an admin scope lockdown, so sessions can no longer claim admin access without a verified device entity, right? Now, is it perfect? No. No platform actually is at this point, right? But they're moving in the right direction and fast. And if you're using OpenClaw's new update, and you review what skills you've been installed, well, here's the bigger picture through it, right? So OpenClaw started as a project by one developer, Peter Steinberger, who wanted an AI that actually does things and not just chat. It ran locally on your device, connecting to AI models to automate real tasks. No big company behind it, right? Just open source code in the community. And a few months later, it explodes, right? 135,000 GitHub stars, daily releases, a marketplace with thousands of skills, and businesses building entire workflows on top of it. And now with 3.22, it just got a full plugin ecosystem, a smarter default model, real-time web research built in, and agents that can actually check in when they're confused. This is what the trajectory looks like. Every few weeks, these tools get meaningfully more capable. not slightly, meaningfully. The gap between what an agent could do 6 months ago and what it can do today is enormous. And that gap keeps growing. So here's a question worth sitting with. If AI agents keep getting better at this pace, better at researching, better at writing, better at automating, better at managing tasks, what does this mean for the work you do every day? And I'm not saying everyone loses their job. That's not the point. The point is that the people who understand how to use these tools are going to work differently, faster, with less overhead, able to do things that used to require a whole team. If you're a freelancer, you could take on more clients. If you're on an agency, you could cut your time per project significantly. If you create content, you could be producing.
Hey, come on. Obviously some why you say that?
But here he is back now with a new story. I'm curious where you heard the story.
Oh, I heard that we actually didn't get the beauty of trying to bomb and destroy a nuclear program that doesn't exist is that you can either succeed or fail and do both simultaneously and in retrospect.
Yeah, and there's actually no plans to go after the stockpile. Trump's even admitted it.
Like, no, they didn't fully destroy everything they did, and who knows the real story behind what happened there. So, okay, Adam, your thoughts on this?
No, I don't want to help the terrorists, but if the terrorists, the IRGC in Iran, actually want to understand Trump, they should read one book. It's called The Art of the Deal. Because if they read that book and put down the Quran and put up this book, they'll actually probably understand Trump's mindset. You talk about asymmetric warfare. How many times have you heard that term? Asymmetric warfare. They got drones, we got missiles, all the way there. Yep. Trump is also using asymmetric warfare. He's basically saying, you got 48 hours, tough guy. They're like, what? Hold on, what? Are we going to call him? We're going to talk to him? All right, just kidding. You got 5 days. And then in 3 days, he bombs them. And they're like, what? I thought it was 48 hours. I thought. Trump is unpredictable. He's using tactics like Vinny said. And then if you follow The Art of the Deal, what does he talk about?
You can't lose if you don't quit. I want you to think about that for a second. Really think about it. You cannot lose if you do not quit. The only way you truly lose in this life is when you stop, when you give up, when you walk away. Everything else is just around. It's just a chapter. It's just a bad day. But it's not the end. Not unless you decide it is. And you know what the problem is with most people? They quit too early. They quit right before it was about to happen. They quit right when they were on the edge of something incredible. You ever heard that story about the gold miner? Dude dug and dug and dug for months, spent everything he had, and then one day he just stopped, sold his equipment, walked away. And the guy who bought his stuff started digging in the same spot and hit gold 3 feet from where the first guy quit. 3 feet, that's it. 3 feet between giving up and getting everything you ever wanted. And here you are thinking about quitting too. You have no idea how close you are. That's the thing that kills me. You have no idea. You could be one conversation away, one interview away, one idea away, one more rep away, one more month away. But you'll never know if you stop now. You'll spend the rest of your life wondering what if. Trust me, that's a worse pain than anything you're going through right now. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. See, failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the road to success. Every single person you look up to, every single person who's made it, every single person living the life you want to live, they didn't get there because things went smooth. They got there because things went wrong, and they kept going anyway. That's the difference. That's the only difference. Not talent, not luck, not connections, just the refusal to stop. Let me ask you something. How many times have you quit on something in your life? Be honest with yourself. How many times have you started something with all the excitement in the world, and then when it got hard, when it got uncomfortable, when it stopped being fun, you walked away? How many times? And then you started something else, and the same thing happened, and you started something else again, and the same thing happened again. You know why you keep ending up in the same place? Because you keep doing the same thing. You keep quitting. You keep running. And running from hard things doesn't make your life easier. It just makes you weaker. It just proves to yourself that you can't handle pressure. That every time the heat turns up, you leave the kitchen, and then you wonder why you never eat. Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent won't. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius won't. The world is full of educated fools. Persistence and determination alone are what separate those who make it from those who don't. You know what I realized? I realized that the people who win in life are not the most talented people. They're not the smartest people. They're not the most connected people. They're not the people who had it easiest. The people who win are the ones who just refuse to go away. They refuse to be denied. They refuse to accept no as the final answer. They kept showing up, day after day after day, when nobody believed in them, when everybody told them it was over, when the scoreboard said they were losing, when their own body was telling them to stop. They just kept playing. And eventually the game changed. Eventually the tide turned. Eventually the breakthrough came. But it only came because it was still there to receive it. That's the part people miss. The breakthrough doesn't come to the people who deserve it most. It comes to the people who are still standing when it arrives. I told myself I was going to make it. I didn't know how. I didn't know when. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a blueprint. I didn't have a mentor or a guide or someone holding my hand. But I told myself I was going to make it. And every single day I woke up and I acted like a person who was going to make it. Even when my bank account said I wasn't. Even when my situation said I wasn't. Even when the people around me said I wasn't. I didn't care what the evidence showed. I cared about what I believed. And I believed that if I just kept going, something would break. Something would open up. Something would shift. And it did. But it took years. It took years of nothing happening. Years of grinding in the dark. Years of no caring. Years of no results. Years of waking up and doing the same thing and seeing nothing change. And most people can't handle that. Most people need to see the payoff fast or they're out. And that's why most people are stuck. That's why most people are living lives they hate. Because they gave up on the life they wanted. Here's the truth about life that nobody wants to hear. Results don't come on your timeline. They don't come when you want them to come. They come when you've earned them. And earning them takes time. It takes patience. It takes consistency. It takes doing the same boring, unglamorous, repetitive work day after day after day when you don't feel like it. When you're tired. When you're frustrated. When you're broke. When you're alone. When you're scared. When your friends are out having fun and you're in the gym or at the desk or in the studio grinding, you still do it. That's what separates the winners from everybody else. The winners do it anyway. The winners show up on the days they don't feel like it. The winners grind when there's no applause. The winners put in the work when there's no guarantee it's going to pay off. And that's why they win. Not because they had an advantage, because they had a commitment, because they made a promise to themselves and they kept it. You're not tired of trying. You're tired of trying and not seeing results. And I get that. I understand that feeling. I've been there. Everybody who's ever done anything worth doing has been there. But let me tell you something. Just because you can't see the results doesn't mean nothing is happening. The bamboo tree grows underground for 5 years. 5 years. You see nothing above the surface. Nothing. You water it every day and you see dirt. That's it. Just dirt. And then in the 6th year, it grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. 90 feet. But here's what people don't understand. It wasn't growing 90 feet in 6 weeks. It was growing for 5 years underground where nobody could see it. The roots were spreading.
All right, let's learn some more Claude. What, Toro? No, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Gotta go potty? Hold on.
$1,000 a month. We recently let them go and replace them with AI. So the systems that we used became even more accessible. And in today's video, I'm going to give you the exact same system, and I'm going to show you how we script our videos that, as you can see, get billions of views. But while other similar videos just like this one about faceless YouTube scripts give you surface level scripting techniques like, hey, ChatGPT, can you please write me a script about X, Y, and Z? Or they give you a stealing method when you basically copy someone else's work and you expect it to go viral. Spoiler, it never actually works like this. Or they just give you generic, basic level, artist level prompts for Claude or even GPT. Spoiler, GPT is terrible. You should never cancel your GPT subscription because you should never use that. In this video, the script bending video, I'm going to give you the unique script bending method. I'm also going to show you the database of 50 plus scripting templates we created for our workshop. And I'm going to show you a team of AI agents that find ideas, write scripts, and do the manual job on autopilot. So instead of giving you a fish, very often rotten one, I will give you the fishing rod so that you can catch the fish whenever you want and find those ideas and script those videos as many times as you want for as many faceless channels as you want. And this is exactly what I call the script bending. Now, let me explain you the method, because most people honestly get that wrong. They think they should write their scripts, but in fact, you should actually never do that. Others make another mistake thinking that you should steal someone else's ideas, but it never works out. So both of those methods don't work. Forget about them. Instead, what you should be doing is remember this formula. Viral YouTube script is always a unique idea and a proven storytelling framework. A combination of those two deliver the best results. So you should always find unique ideas that no one has ever covered in your direct competition, and you should use proven storytelling frameworks that worked for competitors. So frameworks are proven, ideas are unique, and the combination of both give you unique videos that are almost guaranteed to work. So this is the only combination that guarantees the success of your video. Almost guarantees. There's never 100% guarantee, but this one is as close as it gets to the guarantee. So to give you an idea, here's exactly how it works. These are two videos. One is from Agent Floppy and the other one is from Looney Throne. And the initial video that blew up 9 months ago to 6.1 million views is every US president death explained in 21 minutes. This video was also script bended from, I think Paint Explainer was the first to do every someone's death, but Agent Floppy innovated on the style. They did a way better thumbnail, and that's why their video exploded, 6.1 million views. But then Looney Throne actually bent this video and created every British monarch death explained in 21 minutes. And for most of you, the picture is already clear what is script bending, but I will still explain how the framework works, because we're now looking at the title and thumbnail, but there are so many different script bends you can do. You can bend the title, and you can bend the thumbnail, you can bend the script, the hook, basically any part of the YouTube video you can bend, turning it into your unique piece. So let me explain you how it works. The original video blew up and it was about presidents. And the storytelling framework was like this. This is the exact script from the videos. When I transcribed both of those videos, and these are the framework, how they worked every single time, because once they copied the video, they got 300,000 views on it in 4 months. So the framework was from eating raw cherries to contaminated water in the White House to getting assassinated in broad daylight. This is how every US president died and their final words. So this was the initial hook that made the video explode. And as you can see, the structure here is very simple. From X to Y to Z, this is how something, right? And these guys, they simply bend it to British monarchs. So they changed presidents to British monarchs, and the framework was exactly the same. So the hook was structured the exact same way. From this to that, to then this, and then this is how every English and British monarch died over the last 1,000 years. As you can see, they actually used a shorter version of it, and that's probably one of the reasons why I feel like their hook is way worse than the original one. Agent Floppy did a way better job at hooks, but still it made the video explode. So they script bent the format, so the title and thumbnail, and they also script bent the hook and the rest of the script. So in this example, I'm only giving you the hook because it's a very clear example, but actually the rest of the script is pretty much like that. Whenever Agent Floppy breaks into goes into storytelling or using lists or using call to actions, these guys are doing the exact same thing. And the reason why they do it is because it's very simple to copy the structure with AI, which I'm going to show you at the in this video. Now, you can continue bending it to multiple examples. So you can create a video, every celebrity death explained. You can, like this one, by the way, also uses what I call the hype injection. You can talk about celebrities that are popular right now. And by doing that, you can actually get to a broader audience. You can increase your TAM, total addressable market, by using that. I'll probably create another video on hype injection and how it works. Then you can do every dictator's death explained, pretty similar topic to this one. Every controversial influencer death explained, also kind of hype injection in a way. Every star in a universe death explained. This one is bent to like space and like physics and stuff like this. So you can be creative with those bends, right? And when I personally saw this bend, because I was one of the first to see this video blow up, I saw it at like 200K views. So when I saw it blow up, I immediately did the same thing for with one of the Art of YouTube clients. So we banned the video. I'm not going to tell you the topic of that, obviously, to protect my client's channel, but we banned the video to something very creative, very new, something no one has done like before, and we posted the video. It was the second ever upload on the channel, and for the first 16 days, it was basically sitting at 200 views, which is like almost always when you start a new YouTube channel right now, a branded one with long form, it will almost always get stuck at 0 to 200 views for the first 2 weeks. But then, as you can see, 20 days later, it started blowing up out of nowhere. And I'll zoom like on into something that you use to educate your Claude AI agent that will then create scripts for you. So this is something that we did. Now, if you do it with a single video, because with this prompt, you need to attach the video transcript of one of your competitors. If you do it with a single video, it's going to be good enough. But what I did is I actually put 500 video transcripts for of Zakti Films to create a legendary version of the same SOP. It turned out so good. It's like 15-page book. It's almost a book that goes over exactly how Zakti Films structures his videos. So this version turned out to be legendary, and this is because I gave Claude enough data on how those videos are structured. So the more transcripts you can get, the better. And a good thing is we actually did it for you. So again, stick with me till the end. I'll tell you how you can get all of the SOPs for the most popular formats and trends of faceless YouTube automation. Now, how do you actually create those niche bands, those script bands, excuse me, because niche bands is the first piece that you need and script band is the second piece that you need. So in order to fully understand script bands, you actually need niche bands. So yeah, go watch this video right after you finish this one. You will have a full picture of exactly how this thing works. But yeah, figure out the niche, then figure out the scripts, and then I'm planning to continue this series, helping you to figure out the production and YouTube algorithm as well. Now, let me explain you what that means. So there are those channels, right? And the Odd Dude Explained is the channel about mafia and gangs. And as you can see, all of his videos are very well structured. Like the structure is easy to see and easy to copy. POV, you're the cartel deadliest hitman. POV, you're this. POV, you're that. And this is all about mafia, gangs, and this kind of stuff. So the bad guys. Now, Professor POV actually bent this niche towards good guys. So he changed bad guys to good guys, and he now creates videos your life as every CIA Black Ops rank and rank of this, rank of that. Basically, same videos, slightly different thumbnail, but the structure of their scripts is exactly the same. I know because we analyzed that, and we came to the conclusion that the scripts are almost identical, meaning either it's the same dude or they're stealing scripts from each other, changing a few words here and there. So it's very hard to see from the first look at those channels, but when you do a deep research, which we've done, then you can see it very clearly. So these videos are pretty much the same. Again, one is slightly bigger and slightly longer. It performed better as well, but again, the structure of the script, which we care the most about in this video at least, is exactly the same. And those videos are also the same. They changed the cartel deadliest hitman to the FBI informant and created the same exact video following the structure that worked. Again, this video is about follow the structure that works and come up with an original idea that no one has done before. So the script bending, in simple words, is basically taking a proven format from a different niche and rewriting the script following the exact same structure for new original ideas. Now, I'm going to give you the examples from the database that we created with 50 plus proven script formats. Number one is the Professor POV storytelling style. This channel, again, it's absolutely everywhere now. It's blowing up, and their videos are getting crazy amounts of views, especially this one. And the format, obviously, people are trying to steal it as much as possible because it works. What's the scripting format of this channel? First of all, they always use you version of the script. So you drop in, they place the viewer directly into a specific role, era, or situation, and it sounds like you apply online like everyone else. There's a form on the CIA website, then you like this happened to you, this happens to you, and they develop a story from there. Now, as I said, they develop the story in a chronological sense. They walk through the full arc, each stage darker, more complex, higher stakes. If you get caught, the CIA will deny you exist, etc. And they also give it a very strong ending, so they end the video very strong as well. So this is the storytelling framework. Now, how do people actually bend it? Well, there's a video about dinosaurs, and this channel was actually way older than the POV explainer, POV professor. So POV professor was not the original one, but that's the most common right now. But there's a video about dinosaurs with the same exact structure. There's a video about Lost and the like sexual history that is structured the exact same way. there's a video about mafia structured the same way. So it doesn't really matter what topic your channel covers. You can always apply the structure that worked for someone else. And this is what I want you to understand and learn about this script bending concept. Doesn't matter what blows up. You need to be plugged into the basically like the YouTube feed, YouTube algorithm. You need to understand what works currently for our channels, and you need to bend it to your niche. So today we're not talking about your niche. We're not talking about like you create a video about mafia or create a video about that. Whatever channel you run, you can bend this format towards your audience. You can make this format work for your channel, and this is exactly what I want you to do. So take this script formula, apply it to one of the ideas that already worked on your channel, and you're going to get a viral video that will blow up to hundreds of thousands of views, almost guaranteed, if you have a channel that works, if you have a niche that is proven, if you have the niche bending figured out already. Now, the other example would be the paint explainer style, probably the oldest of them all, the most, let's say, used one, but still there's multiple channels that are doing it. So first of all, there's no intro in that style. They jump straight into the number one, and they go over basically either psychology tricks or life hacks or different dictators. They go one by one, explaining each one of them. So your script bending formula is actually very simple. Find a storytelling formats, 3 to 5. You need multiple of those that work for indirect competitors. Adapt them for fresh ideas that you generate in your chosen niche. Create unique content with almost guaranteed results. So this is the formula. You find something that works for indirect competitors. You're trying to bring new formats to your own niche, and you adapt it for to ideas that no one has ever done before. This is how you get unique content on YouTube that has all the proof it needs for the algorithm to blow your videos up. This is the formula. Now, how do you do it in practice? And we got you covered as usual, because we created that entire database for you. And if you visited our niche bending workshop, you know how much I love those databases, because we have the exact same database for 500 plus faceless YouTube channels. So what we did, we actually analyzed all of the videos, all of the most popular videos from those channels. We put together a list of 5,000 different videos, their scripts, and we figured out that all of them followed very clear frameworks, and we found 50 plus frameworks that we put in this database that are helping those channels blow up. So the way I now use this database in practice is whenever I want to create a video for a channel, I would search for a proven framework for the script in this database. So for example, because we've talked about Paint Explainer, like there's Paint Explainer style of video, or let's say I want to see how Simple Paint creates his videos. So first thing that we see is the script formula. So here's how they structure their scripts, and you don't need to understand it yourself. You don't even need to read it, because this is just a part of the prompt that you will give to Claude AI so that it writes the script for you, completely for you. Now, there's a TXT file with all of the scripts from Simple Paint. Already, we just put them in the doc because we know that you need them. Now, there will be another file. We're now in the process of finishing this database. Obviously, we're preparing for the script bending workshop that is coming April 8th. And there will be an MD file with the complete Claude AI prompt that you will upload in one click, and your Claude will learn the skill of writing scripts similar to Simple Paint. And Simple Paint is quite unique, but if I show you the Paint Explainer, you will also see a bunch of other channels that are doing the exact same style. And you will see whether or not your channel is there, maybe, or you will see who else tried to copy the exact same format and how they bent it, because every single one of them is different, because some of them are bending towards MMA, some of them are bending towards Professor is actually quite a funny one, Paint Explainer, Fictionary, Nexus files. Some of those are actually not very clear bands. So instead of copying titles and thumbnails, they copied the script structure, but their thumbnails are completely different. So you would have never guessed that these are the exact same videos, but they are the same. And we know that because we analyzed every single one of them. And for each channel we analyzed, we give you the TXT files with all of their scripts, so you can upload them to Claude and you can ask your own questions. You can see whether or not they're actually, as interesting as you think they are, right? So you don't need to watch any of the videos from your competitors. And I'm going to give you the exact same prompts as well, the MD prompts, so you can use that as a learning material to teach your Claude to write scripts for those channels. So super excited for that. The new bending workshop is coming April 8th. Right now, below this video, you can find the waitlist, or if you're watching this video late, then you will see the exact link to get your tickets. Do that now, because I'm expecting more than 300 people to join us live this time. And this time, I'm actually preparing something legendary for all.
Outraged parents in a Utah school district. That game, 5 nights at Epstein's. Our Jake White spoke with a concerned parent who wants schools now to get involved.
To create my own AI tool that can create YouTube videos in one click. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually start a YouTube channel and reach $5,000 per month, which is a life-changing money for most of the people that can replace their 9-to-5. So let me show you how. While starting YouTube, you may want to start a simple niche where creating videos is simple and easy compared to high-level animations or more complicated niches where you need to spend more time and where you need to be careful about the quality more. For example, this niche is an example of a simple niche. When we check this channel, as you can see, they are sharing videos on China and how we rebuilt after the Opium Wars and Century of Humiliation, their most viral video. So it just talks about this global economy and its relation to the China. As you can see, the most powerful Chinese dynasty in history. It also talks about the history of China, how China escaped poverty, the 40-year miracle. So it all talks about how China...
YouTube Shorts are one of the most cracked ways to make money online right now. Check this out. This is a channel that I started a few months ago. It got monetized a month ago, first day, $265. Go to December, which is the full first monetized month, and we're cracking hundreds per day, fairly consistent. All of this is outsourced. I've got editors that make the videos, and I can tell you something right now. I don't care if you're fat, mentally challenged, or got a low IQ, or you work a full-time job. You can do this too. The beauty of this is we're posting 30-second clips online. You don't need to put any capital up front. The only real risk is the time that you're going to spend editing videos. All you need to know in order to get these types of results is how to find a banger niche, how to make a viral video, and how to scale it up. And I'm going to teach you all 3 things in this video. Now, you may be thinking, why am I qualified to talk about this? Well, of course, here's a channel example that I'm showing right now, but I've been doing this for 3 years. I've generated 6 figures with just Shorts channels. I've sold multiple of them. And I also run the #1 YouTube Shorts mentorship program called Earn It Media, where I've helped over 100 students get monetized, get insane results like 10K months, 100K months. I'm going to show like a bunch of results on the screen right now. It's a great community full of killers. We even had a meetup this year, but I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to cover the most important lessons. In fact, everything you need to know in order to go viral and run this up and potentially turn this into a full-time gig. Now, the first step to creating a viral Shorts channel is finding a banger niche, okay? So we need something that's got a high idea or clip ceiling, something that has a lot of views, ideally consistent and low saturation. So I'm going going to show you exactly how to do that. So what we're going to do is go over to YouTube here, click on Shorts. I'm not logged in. What I'm going to do is basically just scroll until I find something promising, ideally something with a voiceover, because an English voiceover means higher RPM and guaranteed monetization as well. I'm also looking for something that's relatively low effort so we can improve it a lot.
This couple tried it.
Okay, so this has a voiceover. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a tab on this channel. And I'm going to do this for a few channels so we don't just get stuck with the first thing we see.
These are the times when fans are rapid.
This is good, but it's pretty high effort. I'm going to teach you something a bit lower effort for now. But if you're advanced, this is something that could appeal to you.
These are the most random sounds ever. This fan just...
Do you like the Don't Mind or Lush Life 2015 song better? First, the Don't Mind song.
Okay, we've got another one here. So I'm just going to create these three, like create separate tabs for them. Now what I'm going to be looking for is basically how many like viral videos they're getting, how consistently, how good is the niche that they're doing. And maybe their channel is bad. Maybe they're not getting the most consistent views. Maybe they're not doing the best. But if we see outliers that are a lot different from the other videos that they post, we can sub niche into that and make a whole channel around the best performing videos. So if we look here, Kes Talks, we're looking for outliers. So this would be an outlier, but I'm looking for something viral. There we go. 6.5 mil, 3.5 mil, 7.1 mil. Okay, we've got some really good outliers there.
This couple tried the running trend.
And this was uploaded recently as well. You want to be looking for recent outliers. You don't want to be looking at something that went viral a year ago, because that might not be what works right now. And this is only 2 weeks ago, which is brilliant.
This couple tried the walk.
Same with this. Same with this. Okay, so the common pattern here is, let's just watch the video.
Where you float in the air and...
Weird looking introduction where it's some type of trend, I guess, where people are just running in midair.
This couple tried the running trend, where you float in the air and keep running. And while most people thought they completed the trend, the last girl showed exactly how to do it, and the method will shock you.
Okay, a method on how to execute trends. That's basically the niche that we're seeing here.
Subscribe for more.
Yeah, with some like CTA at the end as well. This is very easy to make. I mean, let's just see if this is a format that he does for every single video, or she.
Water TikTok trend, where you rizz up your partner and water comes out. This couple tried...
Okay, so...
Tried the impossible.
Okay, I get the point. I get the point. Let's check this Sharky Tunes guy out. He's got a few outliers. Yeah, no, this channel isn't doing as well in terms of very viral videos. This one is doing a lot better. So I'm not even going to really look at that. DG Shorts. Okay, so we've got dances here, which are going very viral. It seems like these two channels that we found here are kind of similar, because I assume that these dances are trends as well.
Do you like the Don't Mind or Lush Life 2015 song better? First, the Don't Mind song.
Yeah, I mean, these are like trendy dances too.
Do you like the remix or original version of this Christmas song better? First, the original version.
Okay, so this is basically comparing...
Which trend do you like better?
Okay, yeah, so comparing dance trends.
First, the SpongeBob dance. Next, the Don't...
This guy's editing is a lot better. It's similar to a channel called Music Media, actually. But it's not really needed. I mean, if we see here, this guy's doing pretty good views on his outliers, but not very consistently. Let's check out some of the bad videos as well, because maybe there is something wrong with them, maybe something that isn't used in the outliers.
This dance just went viral on TikTok, and you won't believe why. Because after this streamer didn't know...
Okay, notice this video is why... it's a why question. It's not how. In his most viral videos, it was how to do the dance, and this is explaining like about some streamer, which is not really what we're interested in.
Did these twins eat this trend? Because
yeah, we don't care about eating. We want to know how it's done.
this kid just went viral for his Zen.
Okay, so we can see here clearly that his outliers are different. If we just look one more time.
This couple tried the impossible one knee challenge, where you use a TikTok audio and try to complete all the.
Yeah, so they're trying something impossible. It's not like.
This couple tried the water TikTok trend, where you rizz up your partner and water comes out. And although most people did the trend normally, what the last couple did made them go viral.
Okay, yeah. So we see a different structure here in these videos.
This couple tried the running trend, where you float in the air.
So this one is a how-to. This one is like wait until the end because one couple did it completely wrong, I guess, which is different from his bad video. So we can work with that. We can work with that. Okay. I guess this is just like a quick summary. If I was you, I'd probably spend like a good hour or two doing this. Look through multiple channels, look through common patterns. I've just landed on something pretty good here, pretty quick, but I would explore your options further. But this to me it's a pretty good to go. What you can also do, you can download the vidIQ extension. I'll put a link in the description actually, because it is quite good. It's a free extension and you can see here how many views they've done in the last 30 days. Ideally, you always want to look for something that's done above 50 million with consistent upload schedule. Yeah, so he's done 22 videos and 28 mil views. Kestalks has done 77 and 25. So this right now is looking like the better option. So now we have the niche that's, I guess, got us interested, the one that we think we want to pursue. But now what you want to do is kind of like a saturation checker, right? Because although this guy is doing well, there might be a lot more people doing this as well. So what we're going to do is, let's just have a quick look at some of his videos. If we type in, okay, so he hasn't got anything in the description. Sometimes I look for hashtags, but another thing that you can do is just copy the title here and then paste it in. And then if we filter to shorts, we can see if more people are posting it. Okay, so we've got Kanye West floating. We've got floating trend goes viral. This is a different channel. Floating trend goes viral. So there are a few people posting this type of content. Not that many though, which is good.
The Kanye West float.
And this video did fairly well. Kanye West floating. Yeah, his channel isn't dedicated to dancing though. Make sure, let's see this. This is also a dance type of channel, or is it? Nah, this one's kind of moved on. Okay. Suzuki shorts. Okay. Trends. Okay, this guy's doing trends as well. And he's also doing well, and recently too. So this is further confirmation. This is really good, because the last thing you want to see is a lot of channels posting the same type of quality content and the same type of topics, but either some are not performing anywhere near as well, despite having the same quality as the most viral channels, or it's just a pool of basically bad performers. So seeing this just right now, we've had a look, we've had a little saturation check, and the channels that we see that are dedicated to this niche are both doing really well. This is a great indicator to basically start a channel in this niche. So what we're going to do next is, now it's, I guess, video creation time. Now we've got the niche, so now you need to make a channel. To make a channel, click sign in and create a Gmail account. Once you've got a channel, what you want to do is, before you start posting or doing any branding and stuff like that, just warm it up for a couple of days, watch some videos, be like a normal YouTube user. If you have a YouTube channel that maybe you haven't posted on, but you've just watched YouTube on for years, use that. That is amazing. Once you've done that, we need to move on to the branding, which people spend way too much time on. So nowadays we have AI. There is no point making this yourself. I really would not spend longer than like 10 minutes on this. We're going to be doing the dance niche, so I guess we can just type into Gemini, create me a profile. And now we wait. If we don't like it, then we'll just ask it to change some things. Okay, so that looks pretty gay. So I'm going to tell the AI to change it. Okay, so we got this. I think it looks pretty cool, pretty feminine, but it will do the job. So now you just want to take that. You want to upload it as a profile picture. And now if you want to make a banner, you can basically do the same thing. Just prompt it until you're happy. And instead for a banner, you can ask this. Make sure the size is, boom, 2560 by 1440 pixels. Let's see what it cooks. Okay, so it didn't listen to me. Now, AI can do this sometimes. It's almost like being a special ed teacher. Sometimes you need to talk a lot to it and really reiterate your point, which is fine. So what we're going to do is go to YouTube banner on images. And what we're going to do is basically feed it this image in hopes that this will work. I will just copy and paste it in. Fill in the middle dark rectangle with purple color and dancers on it like the image above. Do not have any text as this will be used as my banner. Okay, that's the prompt, and we will see again what it cooks. Okay, well, that's not the answer that I was expecting. Plan B. So I pasted the same prompt into ChatGPT, and the image is actually pretty cool. It's not really in a banner format, although you can still use this and just basically use this box, which I think would be very good. If you really want to alternate it, then I guess you can like crop it out and stuff like that and maybe adjust it in apps like Canva. But seriously, don't overthink the whole branding process. It's not as important as you think. You've got the profile picture now, you've got the banner. I guess now we've got to create the name. So I'll also show you how to do that using AI. What you can ask it if you lack any ounce of creativity, which a lot of us do, what we can do is type in, I am making a YouTube channel about people doing trendy dance moves. Please generate me a list of 20 short and easy to remember channel names that are original and related to my niche. At this point, AI can do like everything for you. So just ask it these questions. And here it's going to generate a list of some pretty corny usernames and channel names. But mate, you can just filter through. You can put together some different words if you really want to. Vibe steps, pretty fire. Trend groove, I don't know about that. Move wave, bounce lab. I kind of like that, to be fair. Bounce lab. And all you need to do now is on your profile, you've got the profile picture, you've got the banner, you can crop out the section that you really want. And now all you need to do is change the @ handle to the channel name that suits you. Right, now let's move on to the most important part, which is actually making the videos. So with our competitor, it was pretty clear the videos that were performing the best. It was this like how to do the trend and the trends going wrong. So first thing we're going to do is, again, we're going to use AI. But first, I just want to see what type of trends we're working with here. 6.5 mil was the recent one. One knee challenge goes viral. Let's just see this one again.